It is Tuesday, July 18th, 2023. I'm Chris Remo, and welcome back to the New York Times Crossword Daily Solve. It's a Tuesday crossword today, so a relatively approachable themed crossword, and I am extremely short on time today, so I'm going to have to do this quickly, hopefully. And this potentially quick edition of the Daily Solve has been brought to us by Alex, Laura Sexton, Victoria Rojishka, and, as always, the invaluable Timothy Mark, the indomitable Shoalmaster, and the incredible Horan family. So thank you so much to the 6 of them benefactors of the Daily Solve Patreon campaign for their generous support. They are sustaining this channel, keeping the series going. For that, I'm very appreciative. If you'd like to support the channel as well, you can head over to patreon.com/dailysolve or click the link in the description field. There, of course, you can find the bonus videos as well as the Let's Check the Crosses mug for benefactors. And thank you to everybody who is a patron of the channel. Thanks also to those who have subscribed on YouTube. That's a big help. Please give that a think if you might be interested. And there's the Daily Solve Discord chat server. There's a link to that in the description field as well. All right, let's get on to today's crossword. This is a collaboration by Karen and Paul Steinberg. Each of them has a small handful of New York Times crosswords to their name, and this was edited, as always, by Will Shorts. So let's start solving and see what these two have in store for us in terms of a themed crossword. Is this a slightly different proportion than usual, or is my mind playing tricks on me? It looks like it's 16 wide. Yeah, it is. It's 16 by 15 rather than 15 by 15. Yeah, it's slightly wider. Okay. That'll presumably be relevant. Well, maybe not relevant, but a consequence of the theme in some way. All right, anyway, U.S. intelligence organization is going to be either the CIA or the FBI, depending on whether we're speaking about international or domestic intelligence. Pal, you might take fishing. I'm not sure what that's looking for. It's a pun, clearly. There's a question mark there, but I'm not sure in what way. Very minor celeb. A sort of C-lister or a D-lister, maybe. I bet it's something lister. Apollo's twin who rules over the hunt. Well, Diana is a goddess of the hunt. And so, I didn't remember she was Apollo's twin. That would correspond to D-list. So what am I doing? Not D-list. Her name was not D-list. She was an A-list goddess, and her name is Diana. Okay. Came up in the listener crossword most recently as Diane, which was I think the Roman equivalent. Okay. Non-vegan fat in a pie crust. Oh, lard. Certainly non-vegan. Comparison words. So used in analogies, you could say A is to B as X is to Y. Seattle to San Diego direction. That would be south-southeast, I think. Yeah, that should be correct, based on the curvature of the west coast of the United States. My understanding is, I assume this to be the answer to this clue. And, Apollo's twin who rules over the hunt, Artemis. Right, interesting, okay. Wow, that is interesting. Artemis actually also came up in that same listener crossword, now that I think about it. No, I'm thinking of a different crossword. I'm thinking of the New York Times crossword the other day when we had Artemisia, I think, in one of the answers. Am I remembering that correctly? Getting all my crosswords confused. Anyway, rhyming destinations for yummies. Yummies go in your tummies, I suppose. That rhymes. If someone's renowned, they could be described as an eminent person in their field. And a tourist destination could be a resort. So this looks like an alphabetical chain. It is sort of 6 on a phone's keypad, MNO. So there we have it. Mooring and fishing spot. You could moor a boat or fish on a pier. And a backup strategy if things go wrong is plan B. I wonder if there's any link between D-lister and plan B. Kind of alphabetical theme. Probably not. But I haven't yet seen any other evidence of a theme. Stop pushing so hard. To relent, simply stop exerting yourself. Los Angeles football player, the Los Angeles Rams, I certainly know the name, and Mendez of Too Fast, Too Furious. Ava Mendez, I always forget if Oh no, I usually forget if the first letter is an A or an E, but that's been taken care of by the crosses. So there we have it. Here we have stop to a sailor, avast, certainly associated with sailors and stereotypically pirates, who I suppose are also sailors. Kind of wrestling or a hint to four pairs of crossing answers in this puzzle. Oh, Artemis is Diana. This is going to be Greco-Roman wrestling. And so, right, okay, that's what this is about. Apollo's twin who rules over the hunt and Apollo's twin who rules over the hunt. We have the Greek and Roman names of that goddess. That makes sense. I think Diane and Diana are it's the same name. They're just different sort of, I don't know, transliterations, I guess. And then, but Artemis is the Greek equivalent and Diana the Roman. Okay, there we have it. That makes sense. City, so nothing to do with this Plan B D-lister thing. Utterly irrelevant. City that's home to Munch's The Scream. I assume that would be Oslo. The painting. Sorry, The Scream, the painting. Oslo, the city. There's probably a painting called Oslo. Tooth puller's degree. DDS, I think, is a dental degree. Relieve of a load is to unburden somebody. Reef wrigglers could be eels, wriggling fish. My folks are going to kill me. I'm so dead. Sun Devils School, something State University. Arizona, maybe? Tortilla, chip dip, and formally, yes, that's guac for guacamole, so that was ASU. Experiencing Novocaine's effect, say that's an anesthetic, so you'd be numb as a result of it. And capital of Saskatchewan is Regina for the Queen. Okay, town blank, old-time news announcer, town crier. Like some assets and agendas, hidden assets or hidden agendas you could have in different ways. Pal, you might take fishing. Oh, chum, I see. So a chum is another word for a pal, a friend, a mate. But also you could fish with chum to attract fish. One in Oaxaca, so that's one in Spanish, which is uno, of course. The M of MIB, that's Men in Black, the film series, and I guess originally maybe a comic book series as well. Preserve in a display as a sacred relic would be to enshrine that relic in a display. Trident-wielding god of the sea is Poseidon, right? So we're going to have Neptune presumably crossing here, and we do. Trident-wielding god of the sea crosses as Neptune, so there's our Roman equivalent of our Greek god. Very good. Good theme. Very clever theme. U.S. intelligence organization. It was neither neither the CIA nor the FBI, but the NSA, the National Security Agency. If one lends a hand, one assists. Tied as a hay bale is twined. You use twine to tie hay bale. And a clucking sort is a hen. Chilly-sounding pod in a stir-fry is a snow pea. Sounds chilly, of course, because snow is cold. Ups and downs is a phrase. A bit of fishing gear is a net. Maybe you could have chum there as well. And simplicity is ease. Snowy waiter, so the snowy egret is a wading bird. Beat it, scram, you could say. Moody music genre is emo, the official rock subgenre of the New York Times crossword. And far out, you could say rad, that's great, or whatever. Form-fitting swimwear brand Speedo, sort of classically associated with small men's swimsuits, I suppose. I've heard enough excuses. Spare me, you could say. It's trying my patience. Bathroom tile material could be ceramic, ordinary tile material. Result of splitting hairs. A part in your hair, you literally split the hairs on your head. Natural weaver is a spider, I suppose, weave webs. And host glass of public radio's This American Life is Ira Glass, who has hosted that show for decades, I think. Harvest goddess with a daughter in the underworld is Demeter. So where's our cross of this? Before poetically is heir, so poetic way to say before, of course. Muslim land with a monarch would be an emirate ruled by an emir. And if something goes out like the tide, it recedes. Somewhat, if something happens, only somewhat it happens. A tad. Tennis champ Sampras. Oh, Pete. I remember Pete Sampras from when I was a child. I haven't heard that name in a long time. Oh, right. Here we go. Harvest goddess with a daughter in the underworld. Series. So lakeside rentals are canoes. Yes, and mimicked is apes. So there we go. Series indeed. Okay, good. My memory didn't fail me there. Brand for water fun is a sea something, Sea-Doo maybe? They make water craft, those little water craft you ride. It's not a very descriptive term, sorry. It's a descriptive phrase. Relative of a llama, an alpaca is a relative of a llama. Weapon for David in the Bible. David slew Goliath with a sling famously. Pay to play is a phrase referred to sort of, could be corruption or could be a style of game that intentionally requires paying. Leery of camera and microphones say it could be something, media shy. There we go. God celebrated with wine, feast, and dancing. Dionysus. And then OBGYNs are MDs, medical doctors. To make out in Britspeak would be to snog, which indeed is what that means. A in Wiesbaden would be ein, which is one, or a, indefinite article in German. Okay, deadlocked situation is an impasse. You could say no one's winning, it's an impasse, deadlocked. Israel's Netanyahu, informally Bibi, Benjamin Netanyahu. Irate could be mad, angry. Mac alternatives are PCs, and Spanish that is eso or esa. There we go. Sorry for rushing through that. I really am just incredibly time constrained right now. Did we ever get... Oh, Bacchus, right. Sorry, I completely forgot to look for our Dionysus cross. Who is Bacchus? A very clever theme. I really enjoyed that. So let's just glance at these quickly. Again, Greco-Roman was our theme, kind of wrestling, Greco-Roman wrestling. There's a great film that I first saw ages ago that I rewatched recently called Night in the City. It's a Jules Dassin film starring Richard Widmark as a kind of fairly unsympathetic anti-hero. It's kind of slightly dark film, but also a lot of fun. And there's an important plot point around Greco-Roman wrestling being kind of overtaken by showier, kind of more modern wrestling. And there's an amazing moment with an aging Greco-Roman wrestler who delivers an incredible line that I will not spoil for you. Anyway, it's called Night in the City by Jules Dassin. It's a great film. So let's look at this theme. We have Neptune crossing Poseidon, the god of the sea. We have Diana crossing Artemis, the goddess of the hunt. How many of these? 4. We had Demeter crossing Ceres, the harvest goddess. And we have finally Bacchus crossing Dionysus, the god of food and wine and revelry. And there we have it. That was our Tuesday crossword by Karen and Paul Steinberg. I really liked that theme. I hope you did as well. Fun spotting that early, despite my slightly incorrect initial memory of Diane/Diana. But there we go. That was the Tuesday crossword. Sorry for again. I apologize for having rushed through it, but I just I needed to get on to other things, which I will now do. I'll be back tomorrow with the Wednesday crossword. Hope you join me then. Should be a good midweek, mid-difficulty puzzle. But until that point, please do have an excellent remainder of your Tuesday. Take care.